What's going on, guys? Your host with the most, Jordan Kime, in the building. I'm here with my cohort in crime, Steve the Animal Mitchell.
What's going on, Straight Talk Wrestling fans?
What's going on is this. We got another amazing, great, up-and-coming Canadian talent in the Straight Talk studios today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kobe DURST.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yes.
So, Kobe, thank you so much for coming to us and taking the time out to sit down with us today.
Oh,
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah.
So, I guess the first question we always ask everybody, standard question, everyone has that defining moment of when they fall in love or when they fell in love with wrestling. What would you say is your defining moment?
I guess my defining moment of falling in love with it, it would have started with video games when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to watch it because I would do it to my friends. Yeah, so I definitely remember playing the video games, and then I guess when I really decided that I wanted to be a wrestler would have been probably around the time I was a really big fan of Miz and Morrison and their tag team.
I'm a Miz guy too. So
yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Absolutely. So they were doing their they had the Dirt Sheet talk show on the ECW at the time, and I think I was 13, and I said, yeah, this is what, because I was finally allowed to watch wrestling because I was in high school, and that was.
You're a little bit more mature.
That's right. I was old enough, but not so mature that I didn't still do it to my friends. But yeah, so it was around that time.
Nice. And would you say you have is there a match that sticks out to you, like a favorite match of yours, even a top 5 that you kind of resonate with?
Yeah, I guess the which Mania was it? The Triangle Triple Threat Ladder match, Hardy's, Dudley's, Edge, and Christian.
WrestleMania 2000.
That was it. Yeah. That was the match that for me just blew my mind. This is what I want to do, and then that's pretty much what I do now.
And well, we've seen what you can do with the ladder, so we know that match resonates perfectly with you. So we know that you were trained by a guy whose name we've heard a lot on the show. One of your trainers was Rob Fuego.
Sure, yeah.
Squared Circle, right?
Absolutely.
So how did you, once you decided that wrestling was going to be something you wanted to do, what were the steps you took? Did you contact him? Did you just go in? Did you research which facilities were the best?
Well, yeah, so when you're in grade 10, they make you take civics and careers. So the first half of the semester you take civics, and the second half of the semester you take careers. And my careers teacher made me look up wrestling schools because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just said I wanted to be a wrestler. So I looked up wrestling schools, and amongst I think OVW in Louisville, and I think I looked up WWA 4, and then there just happened to be Squared Circle Wrestling that was in Toronto, and they were doing a free weekend was the promotion, and actually that weekend John Greed and Gabriel Fuerza also went for the first time that weekend, so we all kind of started that weekend together. But I managed to convince my mom to drive 3 hours to Toronto to let me try this wrestling out. And then when I was really good at it, I'd never really been super good at anything before, she just kept driving me every weekend.
Awesome. So you right away from the get-go, you kind of had that parental, that family support structure.
Huge, yeah.
And do they still support you very fluently today now?
Definitely.
Is your mom happy when you do the things you do with ladders? Or?
No, she knows how important it is to me that I'm kind of being myself in the ring and getting out there and performing kind of true to myself. She understands that I am very passionate about how I want to be perceived and the ways that I want to perform in the ring. So she can support that.
She can support that. But she still has those cringe-worthy mom moments where she's like, oh my god.
Definitely. But, knock on wood, in terms of injuries in my career, I've only ever broken my fingers. I've never had that big, oh my goodness, Kobe's hurt.
Nothing that puts you on the shelf for a long period of time.
No, 6 weeks tops.
It seemed like you really take your time when it comes to all of the different, when it comes to a really super high spot that you're doing in the match, or something that's really gonna take that match to the next level, something that you picture in your mind, that it's really you take that time to make sure that it's done right and it's done safe.
Yeah, well, so from the time that I first stepped foot in the ring, I've been wrestling for 8 years now, and practicing the different stunts and painting the pictures in my head of like what the giant moves that I want to perform, and kind of thinking out ways to do it safely, ways that I'm gonna not only like pull from the past, like doing the pile driver off the apron like Terry Funk, like that's very cool. But also like coming up with new things, like doing a pile driver down the stairs and how to perform that safely, and create those moments for an audience.
And the moments are what means the most to you, I guess, as a performer, right? Because to get that, like as we talked before we went on the air, we talked about those holy shit moments, and to create those in a venue of a whole bunch of screaming fans that are just so into it. The moment that we're speaking of to enlighten all our fans is at the Destiny 5th anniversary show, which we did an episode a while back, kind of reminiscing about that show, was the 6-man ladder match that we had for Mr. Destiny, I guess the guy that was going to hold the contract.
Yes.
And you and the eventual winner, Channing Decker, were on a tug-of-war kind of situation on the ladder, and then you piled, I believe it was a pile driver, right? Through the ladder, or?
Yeah, so we did the pile driver through the ladder, and later on, we were atop the scaffolding, and he gave me the Death Valley driver off the scaffolding, almost through the table.
Into the ladder on the other side of the ring.
No, it was, there was like a table, there's like a really cool, this probably isn't the best for like a podcast, but it was like it was the most popular video that I ever posted on my Instagram. So
Well, people will get to see it on film after, that's for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
And we'll definitely let you.
This was the big spot.
That was the big spot. That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So Decker's at the top, and boom.
Yes.
Yeah, the Death Valley
right on to Evan Wright.
Yeah, right.
And like hit the corner that basically hit like the corner of the table.
Yeah, we hit the corner of the table, and honestly, we hit enough of the table that my fall was fine, and he cradled my head, and everything was totally safe.
But again, a holy shit moment nonetheless.
But it's definitely a holy shit moment. And everybody has their own opinions on wrestling. I believe that wrestling in 2019, there's so much just forms of entertainment. Forget wrestling. People don't have a lot of time. Like, people are busy, people are working. So if they're going to come out to a live performance, or if they're going to like take the time and sit there and watch you wrestle, that's amazing. But you want to build your match, and you want to have those amazing moments. But you also want to be able to just capture those moments for, your casual fan, and just be like, hey guys, like, this is what you missed. Come out to the next one. Absolutely. Yeah, and if people could just see those, like, a 30-second screenshot of this is what we're doing with wrestling today. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, you'll definitely get, if 100 people see it, or 1,000 people see it, you'll definitely get at least 10 or 15 to come out to the next show.
Of course, yeah. They're going to share it, and maybe you're going to create a couple new fans.
And that's great, because this is a business where it's flourishing, and as we've been kind of educating our fan base, because we got a lot of fans in Ontario, but we also have fans in the U.S., and we've been educating them on the great scene that's here.
Yeah.
A scene that a lot of people don't really know is here other than us. It's kind of like a well-kept secret, and we hate sharing it with the world. Yeah. But we want to. We want to show everybody that, listen, I guess I get all you Americans, you're in your WWE bubble, and you think this is the greatest thing, and NXT is the greatest thing, which I'm a big advocate of NXT. I love the show and what they're doing. But when we went to, my first indie show was a Destiny show. We went, and Steve and I were hooked. We got to see Josh, Low-Key, and Aiden Prince in a triple threat match to find out who was going to be the interim Destiny Wrestling Champion. That was literally my first indie show. And I remember our car ride home, Steve and I were just shooting the shit about the event and how great it was. And we were like, man, we really got to start educating what we have here, because it's such a great program, such great athleticism, such great characters, such great wrestlers, that we got to start sharing these with the world. But then I looked at him and I said, it's a pain to have to share it with the world, because I want to keep it to myself.
It's like finding out about a new band and you love it and you don't want to tell anybody about it at all.
You want to keep it yours, right?
Yeah, you discovered them, so you don't want to...
I discovered them, so I don't want to share with anybody.
I don't want to share with anybody. It's me. It's all me.
But still, everybody needs... You guys need fans. So that's where we come in, and that's where that's why we want to keep bringing in more Destiny, and we want to keep bringing in, really more independent, because it's just gotten to a point, really, with storytelling where I feel like they're the best stories, where I feel like this is the best story that's really going on right now, because it's when you're going out there, you're trying to create those moments, and it's like there's a lot of people who have already established those moments, and it's totally different it's like the difference between playing in the NBA and playing in the NCAA, and when you're watching NCAA, it's like this this totally different group of pride that's really going on, that you're wearing your heart on your sleeve for every single thing that you're out there doing. So it's really one of those things where it's like, we have to tell more people, we have to get this out here to more people.
Absolutely, yeah, because there's definitely, we haven't made it yet at Destiny. Well, a lot of us haven't made it yet at Destiny, so we're just we're doing everything we can just to get a little bit of notoriety, someone to pay attention to us.
Yeah. Oh, you will, for sure. I guarantee you, your star, much like Aiden Prince's star, is going to rise and it's going to grow. So that's for sure. Definitely. But in terms of your training, so when you stepped in and your mom was driving you every weekend, to go back to that,
yeah,
what were the things that you wanted to focus on the most? Because you kind of made it seem like when you stepped in that ring, it was home. It was comfortable. You were natural. Yeah. It was all there, but you had to learn the basics.
Absolutely.
But not everybody can learn everything right off the hop. So what was the one thing, I guess you would say, that kind of took you the longest to master, but now that you mastered it, you're like, this was... it was one of those like Tiger Woods fist bumps. Like, yes, I nailed it. What was the one thing that you really wanted to make sure was completely polished when you stepped in the ring?
When it came to the moves, everything was easy. I could do everything the first try. It was really kind of amazing to me. Like, I had never just learned something so easily. But when you're 15 years old, you don't really know who you are. You don't know who you are as a person. You're shy, you're scared, you don't, you're kind of awkward with people. And honestly, even now, like if you talk to anybody, like in the locker room or other wrestlers, they're going to tell you I'm a little bit of a weirdo. So you can only imagine how I felt when I was 15 years old, and especially because everybody around me was a lot older, like these 25-year-olds learning how to wrestle. So I would say that it took before I was Kobe Durst, I used to wrestle as like Marty Michaels, Sean Jannetty, Marty.
I get it. Yeah. I get it.
And that was a gimmick that was given to me by Harley Davidson, who ran a promotion in Kingston, Ontario. It was a small little promotion that they drew like probably 80 to 100 people, and they ran monthly shows. Ontario Championship Wrestling was what they were called. But they let me perform as a 16-year-old in front of actual people, and I could kind of grow as a person and develop. And honestly, just through like growing and kind of maturing and becoming a man, and finding yourself as a person, that's kind of what made the difference with wrestling.
So would you say that wrestling kind of helped shape the man you are now? Yeah,
wrestling, everything that I do, like wrestling has shaped my life. The job that I have, is the only reason I have the job that I have is because it's Monday to Thursday, so that I can do wrestling Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The people that I meet, the friends that I have, like everybody I've met through wrestling, or I've made these connections because of wrestling, or something. It changed my whole life.
Right on. That's cool. The positivity vibe, I can dig that.
Yeah.
So, in terms of all the other promotions you're hooked up with, we know you're getting in with Destiny, but we also know you've held some titles. Mm-hmm. I believe A1 or Alpha 1.
Alpha 1.
What was the title you held there?
So I'm the current Alpha Male champion.
Oh, you're the current Alpha Male champion?
Yes, sir.
So what was the first title that you won? Was that the first big title that you won, or?
No. So the first big title I won was actually it was the Alpha 1 Zero Gravity Championship.
Right, that's the one I read up online. So
yes.
It mentioned the Zero Gravity, but it did not mention the other one. So I guess it's not updated 100%.
Okay.
So Zero Gravity. So what's the difference between that and the actual Alpha 1 champion?
So the Zero Gravity Championship was kind of brought in for almost like a Alpha 1's X Division.
Okay.
Kind of the high flyers, the up and comers. So originally, I think I originally beat Ricky Shane Page for that. And then me and Heidi Lovelace had a big feud for the belt that eventually led to her and I for the Alpha Male Championship, maybe like a year or so later. But yeah, so and at Alpha 1, I'm a 3-time Alpha Male champion. At C4 Wrestling, I was the underground champion before I became the C4 heavyweight champion.